keys to keeping your tools in good working order is proper storage, and that goes for garden hoses as well. Now that we're getting into the season where we're going to be using them a lot, I wanted to give you a few tips on proper storage. Well, storage options for hoses range in price anywhere from about $1.50 all the way up to probably about $200. And one of the most basic ones here is just our rack that we nail onto a fence post or a wall and just wind the hose up on this. This keeps the hose up out of the way, and it also keeps people from running over the hose and getting stepped on and things like that. And so this works pretty good, but it doesn't look really nice. And it also doesn't work if you're walking around and moving the hose from spigot to spigot. Now I've got a few more high-tech ways to store hoses here. And first off, we've got one, this is by Ames Company, and they sell a lot of these different kinds of hose reels. Now this one is really nice, and you can see it's actually been well used. This has wheels on it, and so it's really stable. It's got a good thing here, so it's not going to fall over. But when you want to take the hose somewhere else, you just lean it back and you can wheel it around the yard. Now this works really good if you only have one hose and you need to keep changing it from location to location. The other thing that's nice about this is it's very easy to wind this up. You don't have to wrestle with a hose trying to get it wound. You just take the handle and wind it up when you're finished and move on. So this works really nice. Now, if you don't want something quite this bulky, you're going to store it in the garage and you don't have a lot of room, they've got a new item now, and this actually looks kind of like a fan, but it's a hose and a carrier all in one. Now the hose comes out the bottom here, and then it's also got a place to attach the hose to your spigot on this side, and that works really well. Now when you're done using this, you can just wind that hose back up, wind this one back up, and you're ready to go. So this is really pretty handy. Now, if you want something a little more aesthetically pleasing and you're not going to be moving your hose around a lot, it's just staying in one spot, a nice thing to think about is to use some large pots. Now, the longer the hose is, the larger the pot you're going to need, and it's also going to be easier to coil the hose up in it. Now, this is a really great size pot here, and you just coil the hose up in there, and it works great. The only thing that's wrong with this pot is you'll notice we don't have a hole in the bottom. Now, it's important if you're going to store your hoses in a pot to get a pot that has a hole in the bottom. And the reason for this is if we get a rain, this is going to trap water and it's not going to be pretty to try and drag your hose out of there. But this one, the water's going to drain out the bottom and it's going to work great for hose storage. Now these are pretty expensive pots. They're really beautiful and they'll disguise your hose well, but it's not that easy to move the hose around. But they look really pretty if you store your hoses in something like this. Now there's a couple of other things that aren't really hose storage, but they can aid with moving hoses around. And first off, I've got it attached here, is it's really nice to have a cutoff switch at the hose end. That way if you're watering and you need to go and turn the water off, you can turn that off here and then go to the spigot and turn the water off. It helps you save water, and also if you're going to move this hose around, if you have this closed, all of that water that's built up in the hose isn't going to run out and all over the place. So it saves on mess and it also saves on water. So this is good. The only thing is, at the end of the season, you're going to want to make sure that you take these off and drain your hoses before storing them. Now our final handy item, this is one of my favorite things, is a quick coupler for a hose. Now this works great, especially if you have only one hose that you're moving around the house. And you just attach one end to the faucet, and you could actually buy several of these ends and put them on all of your faucets. Make sure it's tight so it doesn't leak. And then the other end you put on the end of your hose that you're going to attach. Just like this. And then all you have to do is put that hose on like that. When you're ready to move, just like that. This works great when you're moving hoses around the house. So as you're getting ready to start watering, you might think of some ways to make your watering chores a little bit easier.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.